To think that Bones was only one locator card away from being in the top 8 of Battle City, and then he was destroyed. Hello everybody, and welcome back to more of the Dynasty Series Battle City deck profiles. It's me, Cooper, and today we're going to be talking about my buddy Bones. That's right, Bones did participate in the Battle City tournament, and even had one full battle, which is more than some people I could talk about. And this guy is in trouble. Bones' deck did not go through too many changes, so let's go ahead and bring out the new boss monster of Bones' deck, the Mammoth of Goldfine. That is correct, the Mammoth of Goldfine, a monster with 2200 attack, but it is a fusion zombie. So that's right, his new monster, his new boss, has 400 more attack than his old boss, the Pumpkin, which he still has. Because basically he's going to be using his Duelist Kingdom deck with a few fusions added in. In other words, he's become a little more bricky. Yep, that is right. We're in a little bit of trouble when it comes to Bones. Getting into Bones' stats, we're going to start off with Bones' attack stat. Oh wait, not stats. Sorry, rare cards. We're going to start off with the rare cards that he has. Of course, he still has his Call of the Haunted, so that's going to be in the rare card zone. And he has a brand new stall rare card, which might come in handy. The Nightmare Steel Cage, buying himself 2 turns to get the cards he needs. In fact, putting this with Castle of Dark Illusions is actually a pretty good combo. You'll be able to pull off the flip effect within those 2 turns, as long as you have a proper hand. Now, getting into his stats. Sorry that I forgot the rare cards, because I already explained Call of the Haunted last time, so you guys know what it does. It is his attack stat, and it is not very good. I'm afraid that now that the average attack stat has gone up by 200, his Dragon Zombie just doesn't cut it. And his monsters that I've added to his deck, in order to, I mean, just because it worked out, he has Great Mammoth of Goldfine, but now he also has the Skelgen fusion monster, because they both required the Snake Hair, which is a new monster, well, not new monster, but another zombie in his deck with 1500 attack. So he's got Snake Hair, Dragon Zombie, Armored Zombie, Clown Zombie, and Blackland Fire Dragon. Yes, Blackland Fire Dragon is simply for the fusion of Skelgen. Overall, though, his attack stats are terrible. Mammoth of Goldfine is his best chance of doing any damage. Pumpkin is his second best chance of doing any damage. And everyone else has just grown so much stronger since the olden days. Now he is just weak. So I love Bones. I love him. I loved him enough to put him in this tournament, but I'm afraid that he has gone down. And not only that, we need to get into his defense stat, which is just as bad as it was. It is still a 1-star. Most of his deck in terms of attack and defense have not changed. I could have given him 2 defense because of Nightmare Steel Cage, but when you run like 9 monsters that have 0 defense, you're going to get a 1 defense stat. You're lucky you don't get a 0. So honestly, Bones, you haven't changed much in the defense area either. It's just kind of sad that, you know, your monsters are so weak in defense. I still gave him the Castle of Dark Illusions, so he has that for tankiness, and his Pumpkin is pretty tanky, and his fusions are pretty tanky. He's got Skelgen at 1900 defense, and Great Mammoth of Goldfine at 1800 defense, but mostly use that for attack. Either way, you don't look at Bones for his defense stat. They're pretty pitiful. Let's go ahead and move on to Bones' speed stat, and this is not good either. Bones' speed stat is about as good as his attack stat because Call of the Haunted does add the special summons. He has Call of the Haunted, he has a new card called the Shallow Grave, which I think is going to help his deck a lot, but everyone else is a lot faster now, so speed means it's hard to give him extra speed. Because everything has changed, because other characters... Look, if Mai's not a full 7-star anymore, or 8 bar anymore, then we're literally screwed. His speed stat was screwed. Even though he does have Call of the Haunted and Shallow Grave, this man is in so much trouble. Most of his monsters don't have any special summoning effects except that ugly Spirit Cretin, but he's in a bit of trouble. Plus, Pulverization could give him a speed stat, but like I said, everyone else is just so much faster now. It's the same reason where it's like, oh, the attack stats of everyone's so much higher now. Dragon Zombie used to be really good. Now it's just kind of below average. So we're in a little bit of trouble when it comes to Bones. One advantage Bones does have, though, is his deck has a lot of low-level monsters with decent attack. A 3-star monster with 1600, 1500, even 1350 attack is really good. These attack stats are super helpful because there are characters in this series that run Gravity Bind. So what you could do is you can buff these monsters, the Dragon Zombie, the Armored Zombie, that kind of stuff, and then you could easily get through the Gravity Binded opponents. So it's very nice that he at least has that option. Getting on to the new stat for Bones, Bones' skill stat is terrible. The only reason he's not a 0 is because he has a burn card and a stall card, Nightmare Still Cage. But Nightmare Still Cage is not going to give him a deck out. I just gave him that little point because he has that stall. All in all, he is no skill either. He's just about, I guess, attacking and resummoning from the graveyard. That's his whole gimmick. He attacks you and he summons from the graveyard. Attacks you, summons from the graveyard. But his attack just isn't as good as it used to be. So that, and everyone else's attack is way better than it used to be. So this is going to be very, very scary. Now, moving on to his brick stat, he is no longer unbrickable because he runs Polymerization. Because he runs Polymerization, it counts as a brick card. Obviously, I highly doubt anyone that uses this deck will still brick. It's very, very rare if it happens, if they even get this deck. But my buddy Bones' deck has, like, it's so much worse looking at it now compared to where it was. Bones is going to struggle in this tournament. He is going to be so hard to use, given that he doesn't really run that many effect monsters. The monsters he does run aren't that strong anymore. But you know what? The man still almost qualified for the freaking Battle City tournament, which would have been incredible. It's like, hey, top 8 in Battle City. Bones just randomly shows up as the random 8th. It almost happened, but then Bakura showed up and killed him. But what are you going to do? Zombie Kid got put back in the ground, and that's why we use 13th Grave and Attack Force 7 now. I'm actually more sad about that than you guys realize. So, I can't really praise Bones too much. The only way he's going to win this duel is by just powering up his weaker monsters like Dragon Zombie or Pumpkin, using Castle of Dark Illusions or an equip spell, and then going in on the opponent, stalling with Nightmare Still Cage to make sure he can pull off the combo, and Call of the Haunting all the monsters that will no doubt get destroyed because he's going to need them. At the end of the day, though, Bones is going to be a very, very weak freaking person in this tournament, and I hope that whoever gets them, if they even get them, because 4 people will be left out, I hope that whoever gets them can try their best, because the only way you win is by beating your opponent up before they can get their big tributes out, and the only way you could do that is by comboing with Castle of Dark Illusions or equip spelling one of your weak monsters, and hoping for the goddamn best, because this is not a great deck at the moment. Not in Battle City, at least. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore his potential, because Bones' potential for winning the tournament is a 1-star. The only reason I gave Bones 1 star and not half a star is because Bones is better than Duke Devlin. Duke Devlin's deck had very little synergy and was very bricky, and not very bricky, but it had a lot of combos that don't work well together. And Bones, at least, his entire deck still works well together. No matter what, he has that going for him. He has some consistency here. It's just really rough looking at my buddy and being like, you don't measure up to the new stuff. Now that we're in Battle City, you kind of fell behind. You're behind the times, which is probably why you had to steal all your locator cards by scaring other duelists away. But it's okay, buddy. I'm just happy to have you in this tournament, and I would not mind getting you. I would love to try and make your deck work. So guys, that's going to be it for my buddy Bones. He's going to be in the freaking Battle City tournament. Hopefully someone does get him and shows that he could still win. I don't think he's going to, but hopefully. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.